Okay, the first thing you want to do when you're going to do FTP is to find yourself an FTP client, and that's a program that will let you connect to your web server. I personally am going to suggest the Core FTP LE right now. It's free software. I haven't really had any trouble with it, so I'm going to go ahead and download this now. If I click download now, it will come up and then ask me, is it okay to download this? So I'm going to go ahead and do download and save. Alright, and I'll go ahead and save. It's going to tell me I already have it there because I did this previously to make sure that everything was going to work smoothly. Okay, when it's all finished, go ahead and click close, and then I will come out here and then I will run the actual program. Okay, and now it should come up and it should be pretty smooth. Like we'll do next, next, next. Do create backups, yes. And then just Core FTP. Alright, so basically I just hit next on everything, or yes. Alright, so it should be all ready to go. We have the little thank you for downloading here. We'll go ahead and close that. And I'm going to go over here and then run Core FTP Lite. Okay, that's when I originally installed it. Okay, now it comes up with new site, and here you'll put your site name, and it can be whatever you want. And then your host IP URL. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and put Linux serve mendocino.cc.ca.us, and then your username would be just the first letter. In this case, I'm using an example from my Mendocino College server. Would be the first letter of your first name, so in my case it would be R, and then the last name, so it could be Griffith. And then my password usually is, set up for you by your server. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put here my password, and then I want to make sure that all of this stuff is enabled, and I'm going to do SSH SFTP. Alright, and I believe everything is good to go, and I can do connect and then store key, yes. Okay, now typically it would connect to your server here, but in my case I used a made up name and password, so I'm going to go ahead and open another connection now. Hang on one second. Okay, so I'm back and I'm connected to my own web server here. And if you look down here, this is the stuff that I have right now on my desktop. So you come out here and don't really have the whole width here, but that's the stuff on my desktop. And if you look out here, it'll be the same folders. Desktop stuff, WDF student data files, etc. This over here is online. So if I was to drag something from here to here, then it would copy it to my online folder. Alright, so in this case, if I want to go to the Griff folder, and then Ask Griff, and then HTML, this is out here on my actual web server now. So I can grab something, and let me look over here. If I wanted to create a folder out here, alright, but if I click up here, I can actually make a directory, and in this case I'm going to call it downloads. Okay, so if I go there, I'm going to go ahead and try to just drag this Core FTP Lite over to the downloads folder now, and you can see down here that it's actually preparing it and transferring it. So this could be a few minutes, so I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so it completed. You can see that it is now sitting out there, and it's inside a folder off of Ask Griff called Downloads. So theoretically, if I open a window here and I go to www.askgriff.com/downloads, I don't have permission to view them, but if I can look back here, it's called Core FTP Lite.exe. So Core FTP Lite.exe, and it wants to know where I want to save it to. So it's actually viewing the page. And now what this is since I don't have an index file here in the root of this folder, it doesn't want to show me what's in the folder. So really you need to make yourself an index file that lists anything you want saved, or you can get your internet service provider to change the status of this folder. Okay, so basically what they could do is they can make the directory viewable just by going to the root. It's really not a good idea unless you really have a list of things you want to share. But so for example, if I see a grades folder here and a CSC 130 folder here, so if I was to go to the grades folder, then you can view my index file inside my folder. If I go down and I see, you know, stats or downloads or CSC 130, I can go CSC 130, and you'll see that it's the same way. If I look inside the CSC 130 folder, you'll see that I actually have things in there that I can link to. Alright, so hopefully that will help you and get you started on FTP. But if you want to play around with it, it's really relatively easy. The core FTP is a little unusual to get started with. There's basically the site manager lets you change these things. You can add new sites or copy sites, whatever. And if I wanted to put in my new Ask Griff page, I can go to my, you know, www.askgriff.com, my username, my password, and then, you know, etc. And if I do connect, it'll add it in so that from now on, obviously I didn't use the right password. If I go to my quick connect, I will have, or my site manager, I can go to either one of these and I can just double click it. Alright, so good luck with this, and let me know if you have any questions.